Hi, hello everyone. This is Mommy She once again, and for today's video, we will going to study factoring by grouping. Please also do visit yung first part and second part of my video about factoring polynomials. So today, factoring by grouping naman tayo, and after this, we will also going to study completing the squares. After nun, I will also give you an example ng pwede nating ma-encounter na problem sa LET exam kung saan pwede natin din i-apply yung factoring by grouping and completing the squares. Alright, so let's start. Okay, so let's say we have a given polynomial xy plus x plus 3y plus 3. Sometimes the terms in polynomial can be grouped in such a way na pwede siyang magkaroon ng common factor. So, let's say in our given polynomial, pwede natin siyang i-group as xy plus x, and then the other group is 3y plus 3. So, bakit ganito yung pagka-group natin? Kasi if we were going to look at the xy plus x, makikita agad natin na ang common factor nila is x. So, ilalabas natin si x. Ang matitira sa loob ng parenthesis ay si y plus 1. X times y, that's xy. X times positive 1, that's positive x. And then plus, yung ating second group, 3y plus 3. So, ano yung common factor nila? Their common factor is, of course, that's 3. So, ano yung matitira sa loob ng parenthesis? That's y plus 1. Again, 3 times y, that's 3y. And 3 times positive 1, that is positive 3. So, therefore, since meron na silang common factor naman, which is y plus 1, our final answer will be x plus 3. Itong dalawang nasa labas, times y plus 1. So, this is now our final answer. Okay, so let's have an example number 2. We have a given polynomial 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So, in our given polynomial, mapapansin agad natin that our first term and our third term has a common factor. So, therefore, sila yung pwede nating ipagsama sa group. So, let's now group 3x cubed minus 3x. This is our first group, and our second group will be 2x squared. Ito na siya. And then, minus 2. Okay, so let's now get the factor of our first group. So, sabi natin, dito sa first group, nakita na agad natin na ang kanilang common factor is si 3x. So, ilalabas na natin si 3x. 3x cubed divided by 3x. Ang matitira na lang is x squared. And then, negative 3x divided by 3x, so that will be negative 1. Okay, so let's proceed to our second group. Here in our second group, the common factor is 2. So therefore, 2x squared divided by 2, that is x squared. And negative 2 divided by 2, that is negative 1. Okay, so we have now a common factor ulit, which is the x squared minus 1. And then, sa kabilang group, si x squared minus 1. Okay, so what is now our final answer? So, our final answer will be 3x plus 2 times yung common factor naman ng first and second group, which is the x squared minus 1. So, this is now our final answer. Okay, so let's now proceed to our second topic, which is completing the square. So, saan ba natin ginagamit si completing the square? When we say completing the squares, we are actually transforming quadratic equation into a perfect square trinomial. So, ginagamit natin si perfect square kapag hindi na natin ma-factor yung given polynomial or if we are trying to solve a quadratic equation. Okay, so let's have an example. We have here a given equation x squared minus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. In this example, we will going to use the technique of completing the square to find the value of x. So, yung first step natin is to separate the x term dun sa constant. In our given example, negative 5 is our constant. So, isi-separate lang natin siya o ilalagay natin siya sa kabilang side. So, let's just rewrite x squared minus 4x. And then, yung negative 5, kapag tin-transpose natin, magiging positive 5 na siya or simply 5. So, may iba na yung sign niya. Okay. So, to make our term dito sa side na to a perfect square trinomial, we have to find out what is the missing term or the third term here. So, paano natin malalaman yung missing term para maging siyang perfect square trinomial? So, we will just going to look at the middle term. Middle term is negative 4x. Kukunin natin yung numerical coefficient niya, which is the negative 4 divided by 2. So, it will become negative 2. And then, squared ng negative 2, that is positive 4. So, therefore, our missing term here to make it a perfect square trinomial is positive 4. Kung ano yung in-add natin sa side na yan, siya rin naman ang i-add natin sa kabilang side. So, we will add positive 4 as well. Okay. So, we have now here a perfect square trinomial. Pwede natin siyang i-rewrite as x minus 2 squared. Okay? So, simply, square root the first term. Square root of x squared, that is x, and the square root of 4 is 2, and then just copy the sign of the middle term, which is negative 2, and then squared is equal to 5 plus 4, that is 9. To eliminate the squared sign, we will going to find the square root of both sides. Kasi sabi nga natin kung ano yung ginawa natin dito, yun din ang gagawin natin sa kabila. So, we can now cancel the square root and the squared. Matitira na lang is x minus 2. And the square root of 9, that is positive negative 3. In other words, pwedeng yung sign niya is positive or negative kapag ka square root yung kinukuha natin. And now, we can now find the value of x. X is equal to, if x is positive 3, transpose negative 2, it will become positive 2. So, x is equal to 5. If x naman is negative 3, x is equal to negative 3. Transpose negative 2 ulit. So, that will become positive 2. Then, x is equal to negative 1. So, in other words, x can be positive 5 or negative 1. So, let's find out if our answer is correct by checking our answer. Okay, so let's check. Sabi natin kaganina, x is equal to either positive 5 or negative 1. Alright, so let's now have the first value of x, which is 5. So, simply replace 5 dun sa mga x na nakita natin sa equation. So, that is 5 squared minus 4 times 5, negative 5 is equal to 0. Okay? So 5 squared, that is 25, minus 4 times 5, that's 20, minus 5 is equal to 0. So 25 minus 25 is equal to 0. So therefore, x is equal to 5 is correct. How about if x is negative 1? So let's check our answer. Okay, so again, replace negative 1 dun sa mga x dun sa ating given equation. So negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 minus 5 is equal to 0. Negative 1 squared, that will become positive 1. And then negative 4 times negative 1, since pareho silang negative, like term sila, magiging positive yung sign. So that is positive 4. Positive 4, and then minus 5 is equal to 0. 1 plus 4, that is 5, minus 5 is equals to 0. 0 is equals to 0. So therefore, negative 1 is also another value of x. Okay, so let's have another example. Let's say we have x squared minus 6x plus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, sabi natin, ang ating first step is to separate the x term dun sa constant. So we will now rewrite our equation as x squared minus 6x is equal to 8. Then we will going to find what is our missing term. So to find the missing term, di-divide natin si second term, which is negative 6x. Kukunin lang natin si numerical coefficient, which is negative 6. Divide it by 2, which is negative 3. Then i-squared natin si negative 3. That will become negative 3 times negative 3, that is positive 9. So our second term is now positive 9. Okay? Erase lang natin to. At sabi natin kung ano yung dinagdag natin dito sa side na to, ganun din yung idadagdag natin sa kabilang side. So we add positive 9 here. Oh, by the way, yung sign natin dito is negative since tinranspose natin siya sa kabilang side. So positive 8 will become negative 8. And then, nag-add tayo dito ng 9. So, we will going to add positive 9 as well. Alright. Now that we have a perfect square trinomial, this can also be written as x minus 3 squared. Okay? So, x squared, that's x squared, twice the product of first and last term, so 2 times x minus 3, that's negative 6x, and then squared the last term, negative 3 squared, that is positive 9. Then we have negative 8 and then positive 9. So since unlike term sila, ima-minus natin sila at matitira na lang is positive 1. Okay? So, let's now simplify our answer. To eliminate our squared here, anong igagawin ulit natin? I-square root natin yung both side. So, square root both side, square root 1 as well. So, we can now cancel the square root and the squared. Ang matitira na lang is x minus 3 square root of 1, that is 1. So, positive or negative 1. Alright, so we can now find the value of x by transposing the other constant dun sa kabilang side. So, x now is equal to, if it is positive 1, plus 3, that is 4. And if it is negative 1, so negative 1 plus 3, that is 2. So, the value of x is either 4 or 2. So, let's check our answer if it is correct. Okay, so sabi natin, x is either 4 or 2. So, let's check if the x is 4. Tingnan natin kung tama yung equation natin. So, by replacing 4 dun sa lahat ng x, we have 4 squared negative 6 times 4 plus 8 is equals to 0. So, 4 squared, that is 16, minus 6 times 4, that's 24, plus 8 is equal to 0. So, negative 24, 16 plus 8, that is positive 24 is equal to 0. So, 0 is equal to 0. So, therefore, x is equals to 4 is correct. How about if x is equal to 2? Let's check. Okay, so by replacing again all x dun sa value niya, which is 2, we have 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 8 is equal to 0. Alright, so 2 squared, that is 4, minus 6 times 2, that's 12, so negative 12, plus 8 is equal to 0. So, 4 plus 8, that is 12, minus 12 is equals to 0. Therefore, 0 is equals to 0. So, x is equals to 2 is also correct. Alright, so this time, let's have an example ng mathematical problem kung saan pwede natin i-apply si factoring at completing the square na pwede nating ma-encounter sa LET exam. Okay, so let's just have an example ng tanong na pwedeng ma-encounter natin sa LET exam. So, meron dun mga tanong like, given mathematical equation in general form, paano natin siya isusulat in standard form? So, bago natin i-solve or bago natin kunin yung equivalent niya sa standard form, let's just differentiate first what is the difference between general form and standard form. So, kapag ka-general form siya, naka-equate siya or naka-equal siya sa 0 and it contains a degree of variables in decreasing order. So, naka-decreasing order siya, x squared and then 2x and then 4y and then the constant. Or if kung meron siyang cube, nandito siya sa unahan. So, let's say x cubed plus x squared plus 2x negative 4y negative 3. In other words, nasa decreasing order siya. Okay? Kapag ka naman standard form, syempre, it's not equal to 0 and we usually use the standard form when we are solving equation. Okay, so in our example, x squared plus 2x minus 4y minus 3, paano natin nakuha si standard form? So, okay, so to answer the question, let's apply the factoring and completing the square. Okay? So, burahin muna natin siya ha. Okay, so let's say we have here give an example in general form. X squared plus 2x negative 4y negative 3 is equal to 0. So, paano natin makikita or malalaman kung ano yung standard form niya? By applying the factoring by grouping at saka completing the square, pwede nating makuha yung kanyang standard form. Okay, so let's say we have this given equation. First, we will going to use the factoring by grouping. So, ano yung term dito na may common factor? So, that is x squared plus 2x. And then, sa kabilang side, ita-transpose natin si negative 4y. So, magiging positive 4y. Negative 3 will become positive 3. And by applying the technique of completing the square, kunin natin yung kanyang missing term dito para maging perfect square trinomial siya. So, again, paano natin makukuha? Divide the second term by 2 or yung numerical coefficient ng second term which is 2 divided by 2, that is 1. And 1 is squared, that is still 1. So, positive 1. And since nagdagdag tayo ng positive 1 dyan, magdadagdag din tayo ng positive 1 sa kabilang side. So, we can now simplify our answer since this is now a perfect square trinomial. Pwede na natin siyang isulat as square root ng x squared, that's x. Square root ng 1, that is 1. And then, that is positive yung sign dahil positive yung sign niya. And then, is squared. And then, sa kabilang side, let's just copy 4y. 3 plus 1, that is plus 4. Okay? So, nakita natin yung 4y plus 4 has also a common factor. So, ano yung common factor niya? That is 4. So, pwede pa rin natin siyang i-factor as x plus 1 squared is equals to 4. 4 is the common factor. So, ano na lang yung matitira sa loob ng parenthesis? 4y divided by 4, that's y. And then 4 divided by 4, that is 1. So, this is now yung equivalent ng ating equation in standard form. X plus 1 squared is equal to 4 times y plus 1. Okay, so let's have another example. So we have here in general form 9x squared plus 16y squared plus 18x minus 96y plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so first step, i-group muna natin yung ating term according sa kung ano yung may common factor. So in this example, pwede nating i-group si 9x squared plus 18x since pareho silang may x. And then in our next group, we have 16y squared minus 96y. And then, yung constant natin na positive 9, ita-transpose na lang natin sa kabilang side. So, that will become negative 9. Okay? And then, we will now going to apply the technique of completing the square. Pero bago yun, isimplify muna natin yung mga nakagroup natin para mas madali. So, in our first group, meron tayong common factor na 9. So, ilabas natin si 9. And then, 9x squared divided by 9. So, that is x squared plus 18x divided by 9. So, that is 2x. Alright. Next, sa kabilang side, ang common factor ng 16 and 96 is 16. So, 16y squared divided by 16, that is y squared minus 96 divided by 16. So, that is 6y. And then, let's just rewrite negative 9. Okay, so let's now apply this time the technique of completing the square. So let's just rewrite 9 and then x squared plus 2x. So what is our third term? Again, i-divide natin yung numerical coefficient ng second term, which is 2, divided by 2, and then that is 1. 1 is squared, that is equals to 1. So 1 now is the missing term. And then let's have the second group. We have 16 y squared minus 6y. So what is our third term? Negative 6 divided by 2, that is negative 3. And negative 3 squared is positive 9. Equals to negative 9. Okay, so dahil nagdagdag tayo dito ng 1, we will going to multiply yung constant natin ng 9 times 1. So that is positive 9. And then, dito sa kabilang group, 16 times positive 9. So that is plus 144. So negative 9 plus 9, that is 0. Plus 144, that is equals to 144. So, let's just rewrite this one. Burahin ko na lang siya ha. And then, let's just rewrite 144. Okay, so let's now simplify our answer. So, let's have here 9. X squared plus 2x plus 1, that is equal to x plus 1 squared. Paano natin nakuha? Square root of x squared, that is x. Square root of 1, that is 1. And then squared. So, x plus 1 squared. Plus 16. And then we have square root of y squared, that is y. Square root of 9, that is 3. And then our sign is negative since our middle term is negative. So y minus 3 squared is equal to 144. Okay, so this time, kukunin naman natin yung factor ni 9, 16, at 144. So, ano yung common factor nila? Their common factor is 144. So, divide all terms by 144. Okay, so let's now simplify our answer. So, 144 divided by 9 times x plus 1 squared. So, that is 144 divided by 9. So, that is 16. And then, our numerator is x plus 1 squared. Plus 144 divided by 16. So, this is equals to 9. And then, our numerator is y minus 3 squared. And then, we have 144 divided by 144, that is equals to 1. So, our final answer now is x plus 1 squared over 16 plus y minus 3 squared over 9 is equal to 1. So, this is now the equivalent of a standard form ng ating given equation in general form. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you so much once again for watching. Kung may question kayo, just leave a comment here or you can DM Mami She as well. So please keep watching. Thank you so much.